Well, greetings again, and I'm going to try to run through these these slides again here, just to finish up what you need to do if you decide to do that you want to do your orthodontics like this. Then I want you to be able to get some manufacturer to do these things for you and make these brackets and bands like you need for them to be made. And I wanted to pass this on before I leave. I'm sorry to be such bad shape this morning as I am, but I wanted to finish this up. So let's go ahead and show the rest of these slides before I quit. So here we try to get in here again. Now when you go to brand these teeth up, we used to use a little bath like this that we could put at a certain temperature and put wax in there. Put this plain beeswax, put it in there, and this would be liquid, and you dip the bracket or put the band where the bracket is in the wax, and you pull that out and let it dry on that. And then we would take a slab of nylon and freeze it, and then get out there and mix cement and put that cement on there. Then we would take that, and you can see the wax on the brackets covers up the cleats on the upper band here. And now you can take that, and you've got just a few minutes to work with it. Once it gets hot, warm, it sets up very fast. Now, take that to the mouth and push the band down on the tooth, and make sure you put your finger over there with a glove now, and make sure the cement goes ahead of the band, and take it down there, and it'll be cemented to the tooth very strongly, and that would work. These are the cleats that we had on the upper ones, and if you want to, you can do any movement that anybody's ever come up with this system. And I'm going to show one movement after I kind of finish this up right here. All right, check, that's putting the bands on the tooth, and I still would do it that way. And so now that you reach in and get that extra cement out around the bottom of the band. Now we took, well, to start off with on the teeth, the ladies did all this. I had two hygienists that went in and they would clean the teeth up good, and then get them washed off, get all the brackets ready, put your sealant on the teeth. They have good sealant now to put on there. You can paint the backs of these brackets with a little brush right here. We paint these backs of the brackets with that. Just put that material on that, soaks into that base of the bracket. Now you take we etch the teeth. We'll put this acid on the teeth, a very mild case of it. Then wash it off and put the sealant all over the tooth. See, so that where the person couldn't brush, the sealant would stay over there for years. But where they brushed it, brush it off. But then they would brush the teeth and keep them from getting the decalcification part. So that's another big help you can do by doing this. You got that little brush, you paint the acid, when you wash it off, you put the sealant on there and let it cure on the teeth before you put the bracket on. Now here we're putting the brackets on each of the teeth. This is the little girl right here, we're keeping that dry. Now this is Wildcat wire. It's just a woven wire, but it has a lot of kick to it, and you can make your loops in it, and you put that wire on the case to start. If you want to expand the case, you take the wire like that. It's a multi-stranded, what we call a Wildcat wire. I don't know whether anybody uses that today or not, but I could take and bend one end of this wire, stick it in the molar tooth back here, and then go around the mouth, and mark where you want the other, and we just bent that wire, put it in, and you put it, close it in. There's a small back plier that we would bend that, would make a loop in it, like something like that. And we'd hook it up on one side, put your loop in here, and now we'll go around to the other side, mark it where you want to put the loop. Take it back out of the mouth, bend the loop, put it back in again, and then compress it in there. And this wire will be pushing on that. You push this in and hook it up in the center back, and you'll close these loops back here. So this wire is pushing. That is, if you want to expand this arch, you can hook that Wildcat wire up like that. Now this is on the bottom, and your little deals here, you put O-rings on them, keep them from irritating the tongue. And I hope I can you can study these slides and figure out how to do this. Get a manufacturer to make these bands for you, get them ready for you. Don't have to mess with you, just do it on all of them. Come in like that. And then you submit those in, and you put your brackets on there, and we can start. I have, you can look down and see the vertical slots in each one of these brackets like that. And the ladies would help me and get everything set up, and I could come in and stick these brackets on at least 2 or 3 cases, and sometimes 4 cases a day, and start off. And I had about, I think, 12 or more ladies helping me. The desk and back at the back. And each lady, when we would hire them, they'd come to work, they had a loose leaf notebook. And they had a page on there, they had to learn how to bend the Wildcat wire, how to bend the 016 wire, how to make the omegas, how to do everything. They had a page in their loose leaf notebook. And each time they learned how to do it, then they would work with another lady who knew it good, and they would learn to do it. And we had a staff that could just do, we could keep up with people, and we did excellent orthodontics. And that's the best way I know to tell you to do that. Now, we had several, we would operate with at least 2 hygienists in there, could do a lot of this cleaning up and getting rid of the work, everything. And this is how orthodontics you did excellent work, and you could somebody would break something, you had, I sometimes had 7 or 8 rooms going. And I would go from one room to the next and doing what was necessary, and then they would do the other parts like that. And that's what we did for years. And I kept records on some of the most interesting cases. And then I lectured on those cases over the weekend. I would travel to different places in the United States and lecture and go back on the Saturday night or Sunday morning, and then the next Monday would start again, except I took off on Wednesdays. All right, we'd hook all that up. Now, we made our own ligature wires, and this is a lower motor band that we have converted, and now we'll hook it and tie this Wildcat wire in here, and when you put the pressure on it, maybe put this down here, so this would be pushing on it. This wire will do about 10 or 12 things as far as rotating, turning, doing your teeth all sorts of ways. And then if you want to put the Big Daddy on and widen anything, you're going to get in there with a rectangular wire and put buckle root torque in it. I'll try to bring that out in a minute. Now, when we push that wire up, it would condense it here, but the wire would be pushing out. So that wire has a positive torque. You're making room here for more teeth to come in. You take that out. Now these are 018 slots right there. Now if you wanted to open a space in the arch, you put an arch wire in there that's expanding, and then you put spring on this wire, and you would open this gap here and open it over there, and the whole thing would get bigger. Now, I'm going to have another little sip of water. I'm getting too old to do this. We used to get a torquing turret, we could build them, but the company now that makes these wires does such a good job, you don't even need these things anymore. But we could put torque in the wire up to 0, like 0 and 12, 7, 10, 12. We could put whatever torque, we could take it out. We used beeswax. So we used to get the box of this beeswax, and you could get that if you want to. I mean, they still work on it. And we make one sheet of this beeswax. We can cut it half in two and mash it down in the mouth and take an imprint of the teeth. Just mash this wax down. And you can see the brackets all the way around in there. I could bend any wire you could come up with off of that wax pattern and put it right back in the mouth. And you could do that too. So we took it between the molars, I put the omegas here where we marked it. Always mark the center. I don't have it marked here. You go back to the same place and you do what you need to in your to make that wire like you want it. And then if you want to do the progressive torque, you bend on that wire, bend the end of it. All right, there's a tweed loop forming plier. That's the best thing made for doing that. We would mash the wire right there, bend the circle, come back on the other side, bend it down that way, and now we've got we just come like that, down this, circle back again, right here. And we'll put that in. If you want to pull teeth forward in the mouth, you bend this an arch wire like that on both sides. Now you run this leg down this way. You push this into the tooth like here. You push that, raise it up, push it in there. If you left it alone, it'll tend to move the roots here. Now you pull the crown forward by going here and pulling on it, and you keep the crown going straight. And you can you can close space and have the crowns go straight as you close them by using this. But now I can't sit here and teach you how to do this on every case you have in there. But you can take this rectangular wire and put buccal root torque in it. You can pull the teeth up at the same time. We would take the wire, and I'll have to show that in a full video in a minute. You can keep this in one order by rotating it slightly, and the arch wire will be going the same. Or you can make this go in or out. This will have force. You always engage this wire by tightening this up. In other words, if you pull that down, let me go a little further. There, we've got that in. I've got that on the wax pattern. Now, I took that wire. This is intruding wire. So we sharpen this up and put it in the slots. Now the teeth are going out here. You put that in, it's pushing down on the teeth outside. Now you slide that in there. And you can take a closed bite case and put this intruding wire on it, on the bottom and the top if you need to. And I don't care how deep the bite is, you can open up any body, any age, at any time during as long as they're living. You can take the intruding wire like that. It's sitting there this way. We're going to pick this wire up. So the molar, this is the same thing as this Carrier deal, pulling off of 6-year molars. 6-year molars just don't move much. As long as somebody's chewing on them right here, they stay there. They bring this up, pick it up, and I've showed you when we open the bite on somebody, a little bitty wire with a gentle force and open anybody's bite. We raise that up, tie it to the wire, kind of like an oval shape over here, and you clip it. The wire shape is it's got a wire here and here, 2 wires, and then the twist will be out here, so the thing looks like that. Twist it up, and you push on that. You cut it off here, cut it off pretty short. Push it around here, and now it'll point back there, and it won't bounce back out and tear the person's lip up right there. So we tie that intruding wire about 3 places like that. Cut it off, come back, push on it, and you watch it. You get it under there, and it'll spring back, and it'll stay there, brushing their teeth and whatever else in there. Now, you can level the bite the day you start the case. And I can guarantee you, you can cut about 2 to 3 months off of treatment time by learning how to do that. Just get in there. If you got a deep bite case, open it up from day one. You can go in there and do that. Now here, you pull that up and hook that in your auxiliary tube back here. And it'll level this, while this wire here is doing about 8 or 10 different rotation of the teeth, up and down, the tilting back and forth, this way and that way. There's about 10 different movements that the teeth can make with this one wire. And we talk about the guy doing the Invisalign the other day was saying, what can I do it fast with, wire or the Invisalign? This does every tooth in there, does it. And you can rotate every tooth in the mouth at the same time if you want to. It's so much better. Now, here we got an intruding wire on both the upper and the lower teeth. And you can literally level a bite out in a matter of a few weeks, or less of a few months anyway. Now, even the people that worked in the office after I left, they started using these little arch wires like that. They turn them upside down, and they would make these go up, and these go up, and these went down on it, and that would open the vertical. This does not open the vertical. If you put this in and you want to lower the vertical, you would pad in here. You can open somebody's bite and actually lower the distance between their nose and their chin by opening it up like that. That's hard for them to believe, but that does that. And this system we have now will do all of these things. There's no movement that you make of the teeth that you can't do with this. All right, that's leveling the bite out like that. Now it's best to use rectangular wire. Now what we do, we start up at one height here, we go down lower and come back up again. You don't even see the lower brackets on most of these cases we'd be doing it. And here's your intruding wire, goes up like this, look at here, and these teeth can be down here somewhere, and your lower knees, they raise the nose, and you can level anybody's bite in just a short time. And you've done that, and all these little bitty twists and turns of the teeth, time you start with it like that. And there it is. Now you have to convert this. If your wire's going through here and you want it to go in there, you have to come down, and that keeps the level of these teeth the same. Now, this is one of the main things that I wanted to teach. I wanted to show you how to do. I was talking to a real good pediatric dentist the other day, and he had a case where they had what we call a scissor bite. And you have to, the lower teeth were missing. I've got a case of scissor bite here that I'm going to just draw some for you and show you how you can expand one side of the mouth and leave the other one like it is. And so this person would come in, and I want to make a deal here and show you. Here, this is clean. So one side of the mouth, the molars were there. Let me see if I get this thing to draw in. Okay, so we'd have the upper molar here, the lower molar would be coming in like this. Now on this side over here, the lower molar was way in this way, and the upper molar was way out. It is further than that. Actually, this tooth would be inside, and this tooth here would come down and hit it here. We wanted to widen this tooth out, but not mess with this over here. And the way you do that, you can widen this arch out and leave this one, but the whole thing's going to go the other direction right here. We've got all kind of force we want to out here to bring this out. So you don't want to mess this up, but you're going to move all of this over this direction. So you take elastics, we're pushing, we're going to pull this out over here, and it's pulling this in that direction. It'll pull this one in this direction. And we don't want it to move there, so we put a rubber band in here and go and hook it on those lingual buttons like that. And on this side, we put one here and we hook it over here. So the rubber bands are pulling this constantly, and this force here is faded this way. The rubber bands are pushing the upper arch in this direction, and these teeth right down here are being pushed in this direction too by this. If you put a force over here, these teeth will move out a little bit where this tooth will come all the way over. Now you can expand a lower arch and leave the upper arch alone, but the whole thing will shift a little bit to that side over there. And this was an excellent pediatric dentist that asked me about this, and I showed him, or tried to, but I have a case where we did this on a young man. We moved this lower tooth over here about a ½ inch, 1/2 of an inch out in this direction. The whole thing went over this way a little bit, but you don't notice that. You're putting the whole thing against that one section, widen it out like that. I thank you for watching the method we have of drawing on here. We're using Microsoft, and I have stock in Apple, but it doesn't, you can't use it like this in drawing this stuff for people. And I think understanding it, you can, like if I don't like what's up here, I just push this and it'll all be gone. I push it again, it's back again, clear. And so we use molar teeth here, standing in here in the right direction. This lower tooth is here, this upper tooth came down like this. It was actually hidden on the inside, and you can bring this tooth out underneath here with this, this, and this. There's going to be further out, but this one will go underneath there, and you can't tell the whole bunch has not moved in that direction. So I hope you'll pick that up too. But if you can filter through these 900 and some odd videos, 930 or some odd videos we got, you can find one in there that's doing that. And that's why I say the system we have right here, you can do any movement you want to in the mouth. And I haven't talked about the up and down stuff, but you can do that too with it. So thank you for watching, and I hope God that there's people out there all over the world, and I wanted to teach general and pediatric dentists or anybody working, understanding about the teeth, and they didn't want to do it. And I said, if you don't do it, with the help of God, I will do it. And I hope to God that people all over the world will see what we're doing now. And we've shown you in treating class 3 cases where you do double jaw surgery. Excuse me again, I'm going to have to clear my throat here. Maybe we can take that out of this. I can't talk in hardly. We have done about 9 or 10 or 11 of these cases that normally would use double jaw surgery. And we have that one that I finished up here, but we didn't get the last pictures in it. It's been in there 37 years, and it's still like it was when we started. We moved those teeth back on this young lady, and it's been there 37 years, and I've got that video. You can look at it and see. But every dentist ought to see that article. The old surgeons ought to see it. And if there's anything wrong with the way we did it, tell me what is wrong and how I can correct it. But it's not wrong. You can do that, and we can virtually stop most of this, a tremendous amount of this surgery. If you work with the surgeons, I worked with them, and I was good at it. And they didn't mind. They said, come scrub in with me. I even helped them do some of this. And we worked on that lady from 7 in the morning till 1 o'clock in the day. Even her kids didn't know her, who she was, her neighbors. It changed her whole face. It's marvelous what can be done surgically nowadays. But it's not necessary, it's dangerous. And I decided that I should not precipitate work with that. So I tried to figure out a way that can be done and do. And we have a method of doing surgery like that. I think we could probably get everything to function right. The vertical might go back down, or we could do a big genioplastic reduction to get rid of some of the vertical height of the face in here. And I hope you'll see that case that we have done, and I know that Net's wife went over that and fixed that up good, and we've got it out there, but didn't get the picture of the lady 37 years after we had done that. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to close out today and see if I can live a few more weeks or months, but I'm just about to run out of gas. So I have all these people, and we've got thousands of you everywhere in the world that are paying attention to what we're doing. And I hope we've helped people everywhere. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll hang up for the time being. So hope you'll get this all down.